Greetings, YouTube. Nobel Prize-winning economist Joseph Stiglitz brings forth yet more information about the growing wealth disparity in America. Now, this is a severe issue for our nation. We are concentrating more and more of our money and power in the hands of an ever-shrinking percentage of our population, all the while disenfranchising a broader and broader segment of our society as the middle class gets smaller and the lower class gets bigger. This is how serfs are created, folks. This is how you create nobility and royalty and things that have nothing to do with democracy. Now, the last time we've had a wealth disparity this severe, it was the 1920s, and things didn't end well for us in the 1920s. In fact, in 1929, things ended really badly for the entire world. And I'd really like to avoid that. I personally don't want to have to live through another Great Depression. I don't really need to see this sequel. Now, I know that there are people in America that firmly believe that if you grab your bootstraps and you pull real hard, that you can pull yourself out of poverty. And you know, there are people that can do that. But for every one person that can do that, there are 1,000 families left behind in abject poverty. Now, some people will say, well, that proves the system works. No, it doesn't, folks. What it proves is that whoever succeeded won a lottery. They got lucky. And I don't want our system based on luck. I don't want our system based on a lottery. I don't want one person to get to be middle class and 1,000 more get shoved into the ranks of a permanent underclass. I want a broad middle class with a very small group of people at the top and a very small group of people at the bottom, but the bulk of Americans right smack dab in that middle class. And if that means, say, we do away with billionaires, I don't have a problem with that. And yes, I am aware that there are going to be people who will tell me that taxation is theft. And whenever I hear that phrase, I think of high school students whining about the fact that their parents make them do chores, and that's really unfair. Because that's about how serious I take statements like that. The wealthy deserve to pay more taxes because they have more wealth. And they gain that wealth by exploiting the rest of us. This isn't rocket surgery here, folks. They didn't get that wealth because they were just nice people. They exploited the rest of humanity. And by doing that, they acquired wealth, power. And they're using that power to concentrate more and more of it in their hands while taking it out of our hands. But, at least for now, we have more votes. So we should be able to have some kind of an effect on them. That is, if we would change campaign finance reform, because, you know, they're just bribing the crap out of politicians. So I suggest you go look at what Mr. Stiglitz has written. It's really kind of important. And I would like to see more Americans stand up and say, hey, you know, maybe the top percentagers up there, they shouldn't have quite as much money as they do. Maybe the rest of us down here, maybe we should have some too.